Assalamu alaikum. This is Digital Diary exclusively on Bright Star TV and I'm your host Fatima Nasir. In another episode, let's talk about some latest technological news from around the world and in Pakistan as well. And one from the gaming world. Cyberpunk 2077 has been delayed yet again. The game was initially supposed to be released in April this year, but it got delayed now for the third time. November 19th, it was scheduled for the release in 2020, just after the release of Xbox X Series and also PlayStation, which is going to launch on November 19th, 2020 as well. But once again, the game has been delayed until the beginning of December, and it's a really sad news for all the people out there जो कि इस game का बहुत दिल से इंतज़ार कर रहे हैं. But of course, the developers have been on it so much कि even उनके staff को 6-day weeks करने पड़ रहे हैं. They've been working over and crazy all together just to make sure कि game को जल्द से जल्द release किया जा सके. But of course, they've had some issues with the game and they did say कि just ये जो थोड़ा सा extra time को लेना पड़ रहा है testing के लिए is going to actually bring a huge change in the game itself. And of course, the gamers out there who've been waiting for this game are going to appreciate that. So let's hope कि जल्द से जल्द ये game release हो सके. Now scheduled to release in December. UK telecommunication services are no more allowed to sell any locked phones. हम सब जानते हैं कि whenever you buy a cell phone from a telecommunication company यानी कि mobile phone company, तो they usually have their phones locked. यानी कि आप उस SIM card के अलावा किसी और SIM card को उस मोबाइल के अंदर इस्तेमाल नहीं कर पाते. And of course, this is not a trend जो कि पाकिस्तान में ज़्यादा follow किया जाता है, but बाहर के countries में abroad it is actually something that is used a lot. बहुत सारे लोग अपने phones को telecommunication companies के through खरीदते हैं on a contract. And the way a contract works is that you do not make a one-off payment, बल्कि आप monthly payments के through अपने phone की payment करते हो, which is like around a 2-year period or 1-year period, depending on what you prefer. And now what used to happen before was these phones were locked and आप इसके अंदर कोई भी और SIM card नहीं इस्तेमाल कर सकते थे. But now the rule has been changed and starting from December 2021, no more phones that are locked will be sold through any of these companies. ये rule starting now would be applied in the UK. जिसके बाद of course I think a lot of other countries might want to follow up with that. Even though it's really easy for somebody to actually get their phone unlocked, but फिर भी इस रूल को इम्प्लाई किया जा रहा है because usually users hesitate करते हैं या actually avoid करते हैं कि अपना नेटवर्क ना चेंज करें because of the fact कि उनके फ़ोन locked हैं. They won't be able to shift to another network. But just for more customer services and giving your customer the best experience, this rule has been changed in the UK, and that is actually a very amazing thing to begin with. And I hope other countries follow as well, so people can have the choice to stay with the network, to actually shift the network as they please whenever they want. If you live in the UK or in Europe, आप सबने सुना होगा about this huge thing which was Brexit. It was a global event who everybody heard about, unless you've been living under a rock और आपने news को बिल्कुल भी follow नहीं किया होगा. But of course, Brexit is something जो कि already हो चुका है, and the world, the UK and Europe have been trying to accommodate to the best of their abilities to make sure कि Brexit से उनकी जो बातचीत है, जो relations हैं, उन पर ज़्यादा असर ना पड़े, because of course it was a decision taken by the public itself. Both the UK and Europe rely heavily on the trade between each other in order to maintain their economy. So it's even more important to make sure that these trade ties जो हैं वो वक्त के साथ साथ जो है strengthen किए जाए और कमज़ोर ना पड़ सके. If anybody has ever crossed the border between the two, Europe or between UK, तो हमें पता है कि there are these massive lines जहाँ पे आपको इंतज़ार करना पड़ता है, ना सिर्फ घंटों के लिए but कई दफ़ा दिनों के लिए. And the UK government, HMRC, has actually been working really hard to develop an application जिसका इस्तेमाल करते हुए, टेक्नोलॉजी का इस्तेमाल करते हुए, of course in today's world, इस टाइम को रिड्यूस किया जा सके और जो बॉर्डर के ऊपर वेट करना पड़ता है ट्रक्स को एंड जो भी इंपोर्ट्स एंड एक्सपोर्ट्स हो रहे होते हैं उनका जो टाइम है उसको कम किया जा सके. दिस एप्लीकेशन इज गोना रियली हेल्प विद दैट. बट डेवलपर्स की तरफ से वार्न किया गया है कि एप्लीकेशन प्रॉब्ली तैयार नहीं हो सकेगी टाइम के ऊपर. इट इज गोना बी अ बिट डिलेड. 1 जनवरी का कहा जा रहा है कि दिस एप्लीकेशन वुड बी रेडी, बट द डेवलपर्स आर सेइंग नाउ कि ये थोड़ी डिले हो सकती है. ऑफ कोर्स द गवर्नमेंट इज स्टिल सेइंग कि नहीं एप्लीकेशन वक्त पर ही तैयार होगी. सो लेट्स सी व्हाट हैपेंस विद दैट. बट ऑफ कोर्स आई एम श्योर एनीबडी हु हैज बीन इन्वॉल्व्ड इन द ट्रेड both sides, चाहे businessmen हो, चाहे वो actually transporters हो, and I'm sure कि they can't wait for this application जिसका इस्तेमाल करते हुए paperwork और documentation online submit की जा सकेगी, और जब आप border के ऊपर पहुंचेंगे of course security checks किए जाएंगे and you'll be let through, and of course it will save everybody a lot of time and effort, and I hope कि ये जल्द से जल्द release की जा सके. Tinder is now officially offering face-to-face video. Of course, Tinder is a platform जिसका इस्तेमाल हज़ारों, करोड़ों और लाखों लोग करते हैं around the world, and it's become so popular even in Pakistan. Of course, पाकिस्तान के अंदर Tinder को ban कर दिया गया है, but of course, I think everybody knows that it's just a VPN away. I mean, I shouldn't really say that. But of course, Tinder is now allowing its users to be able to use face-to-face videos at any point in time. But we do know कि Tinder is a platform जहाँ पे user safety और customer safety का बहुत ख्याल रखा जाता है. So this is not going to be one of those things जहाँ पे randomly आपको हज़ारों calls आना शुरू हो जाएं वीडियो के ऊपर on a daily basis. It's going to be more of a mutual thing. यानी कि both people after they've actually matched are going to have to allow this to happen at the same point in time, and that is the only way कि video calling will actually work. And of course, Tinder has to make sure of the authenticity and the safety of the users and the comfort of the users as well. जिसकी वजह से अगर आपको during a video call you experience anything that is bad and isn't really comfortable, तो आप फौरन Tinder को let know कर सकते हैं. You can send them a report and let them know that you weren't comfortable with anything. And we know that Tinder is an application जहाँ पे बहुत ख्याल रखा जाता है inappropriation का भी and comfort का भी for all their users, to make sure कि user safety का भी ध्यान रखा जाए, and of course to make sure that dating is safe in a world जहाँ पे कोरोना की वजह से dating has actually become very difficult for all the people out there. So I'm sure this is going to make it a bit easier for everybody. Is social media biased? That's really a $1 million question. Literally, a very important question in today's world. जहाँ पे मेन स्ट्रीम मीडिया एंड टेलीविजन को रिप्लेस कर दिया है सोशल मीडिया सोर्सेज ने, एंड सोशल मीडिया इज रियली वेयर वी ऑल गेट आवर इंफॉर्मेशन फ्रॉम एट दिस पॉइंट इन टाइम, इवन फॉर न्यूज़ एंड एवरीथिंग एल्स. बट हाल ही में ट्विटर came under scrutiny, and so did Facebook. जब एक article about Joe Biden wasn't properly distributed or allowed to be distributed, जिसके बाद Twitter had a major policy change in order to allow for that article to be able to be shared along its platform, and that's a very important move right there. जहाँ पे Twitter under the pressure actually changed a very important policy to make sure कि इस article को distribute किया जा सकता हो. But now people are questioning that is social media really fair? Is it really fair, or is it biased against one party or another? And it's very important because आज की दुनिया में जहाँ पे we rely so heavily on social media and for news, for influencers and everything else, it is really important कि social media sources पे हम लोग 100% यकीन कर सकते हों और हमें faith हो कि they are not gonna manipulate us in one side or another. And I think there was a gap in between social media and lawmakers because of the whole arena which was so new. But now lawmakers have definitely been catching up, and they are holding social media accountable for what they are sharing with the public as well. And of course it is being highlighted if anybody, any social media platforms, whether it be Facebook, whether it be Instagram or Twitter, any of these social media platforms have been biased or have been hiding or manipulating information जो कि users तक पहुंचाई जा रही हो. And of course it's a very important step in the right direction. Of course they should be held accountable because we do want कि social media को हम आगे भी इस्तेमाल करते रहें and कि हम लोग इस पे easily rely भी कर सकते हों और trust भी कर सकते हों on the information that we're getting from these platforms. तो ये थी हमारी आज की top 5 trending news from the world of technology. We talked about a lot of subjects today, and of course social media being the most important, and I hope that social media always stays fair and we can get most reliable and non-manipulated information from these platforms. मैं मिलूंगी आपसे अगली दफ़ा कुछ नई और ताज़ी खबरों के साथ. तब तक अपना बहुत ख्याल रखें और मुझे इजाज़त दें. अल्लाह हाफ़िज़.